Maybe you can't spend 15 grand a month on marketing, but here's how you could spend 4 and make it effective.
Welcome back to another episode of My Dental Playbook. I'm your co-host, Gary Bird. Along with my friend, Dr. Blake Hamblin, we're going to be diving into something that is going to bring a ton of value to you. We've heard you loud and clear. A lot of people have been reaching out to us in DMs and in comments and letting us know how valuable the podcast has been to them and been asking us for one-on-one time. To be honest with you, we don't have that much time to give. So we've decided to set up a monthly mastermind, and we're going to give you all the details. Now, not everybody's going to be getting in, and it's not going to be for everybody, but we'll dive into that into the show. I promise this will be something that will be really valuable to you. Stay tuned. All right, we're live, and we're about 2 months into this journey now. And first of all, let me say this. Dr. Blake, I really, really appreciate you because you are very kind. You're very patient. Just with everybody around you, your team, with me, with everything. But also you're very transparent. You're like, dude, I want to go here. And so you do a really good job of like balancing your desires and also being patient with the people around you. Because what I know, I'll talk about myself, but also just working with other high performers. A lot of times we're like, I want this and I'm going to burn all the bridges around me as I go get that. And you've done a really good job of doing that. And I think that rubs off on other dentists because it's easy to get trapped in that I'm doing dentistry all day, but I want everything else to work and I poke my head up. And so we've been doing this for about 2 months now, and where people are enjoying this content, it's helping them. So you were like, Gary, how can we help more people? And I'm like, dude, I don't know. Like I'm trying to market for people and stuff. You're like, well, what if we got on a call and we just invited people on a call and we met for 90 minutes once a month and just help people? And I'm like, dude, I'm totally down. So do you want to kind of talk through that, where like how that popped into your brain and like why you wanted to do that and like your motivation behind that?
Yeah, for sure. I will resonate what you said as well. I think we both are very similar in that manner. And so you giving time to me, even on the weekends or whatever, when I bug you with random weird ideas, or like today when I just randomly call you.
Let's build an app.
Yeah. So it's awesome. And I will say I don't do that very well very often. And so maybe you've just caught me on the good days, or maybe I am slowly growing and maturing. Sometimes I still feel like I'm 12 and act like I'm 4. So I appreciate the comment. But yeah, I think what I'm learning about myself is, more than anything, I really enjoy just seeing other people succeed. That ties in with my team members, that ties in with the other dentists in our practice. And I find a lot of fulfillment in that. And so as we've been getting more and more people reaching out saying like, hey, I'm loving what you guys are doing. How can we get more involved? I'm like, how do we actually like help more people? And so the impetus behind the why is really just that. Like I have eaten a lot of glass on the way down or on the way up.
I love that phrase. Eating glass just makes it so clear of what the business world is like.
It's so hard. And so many people, especially in dentistry, do it alone for a long time. And so if we can remove some of those barriers and fold time for people, like I had so many mentors in my life that radically changed the trajectory and more so the speed in which I've been able to reach different levels and plateaus.
You call it bending time. I've heard you use that phrase, bending time. Yeah.
If we can help people do that, that sounds really, really fun and fulfilling to me.
Okay. So selfishly, I was like, this is great because now we'll have endless content, right? Like now we're not just talking about your practice. We can talk about everybody else's practice as well. And we can even bring on guests and be like, hey, we're going to talk through how to solve this problem that you're experiencing. So I think that's really, really exciting for the people who want, to be in front of people. Some people don't like that. So, which is fine. Now I'll be totally transparent. I was like, this is not my first rodeo. If we open this up and do it for free, you're going to have a bunch just like people in there and all the complainers come. Doctors get it, right? Like what happens if you do free cleanings for everybody around you? You're going to have all the complainers come out and just, absolutely wrecking your practice. So you don't want that. And then I was like, you were like, yeah, I agree. We don't want that. And then I was like, well, so what are we going to charge? We're going to charge like $1,000, $2,000, $3,000. And you're like, no, I want to basically make it so good that people won't say no and that it's basically a no-brainer, but we also weed out the 1% of the bad actors in the dental industry, right? Because they're out there and we all see them. They're on Facebook and all those kind of things. So we don't want those people there. So what are you thinking price wise for people? You said $299 a month.
I think that sounds pretty reasonable, and my hope is that we deliver way more value than just that. My hope is that you're like exactly what you just said. Like, I'm silly not to do this. And so I think that feels really comfortable. I think people should get a great return on that and hopefully learn a lot, help us. And what I found in being part of different groups like similar to this is that you feel like you get on and you've got an idea or a problem that you're trying to solve, and then someone else brings it up, and then you realize you're not the only one dealing with this, or there's this like brilliant idea that you're like, man, I can put this into practice tomorrow. And so just being around other like-minded people has been super helpful.
Yeah. And the other thing that I've noticed about these kind of masterminds that help people is you get really down, right? In business, like it's so easy, and nobody acts like it, right? We show up to the podcast, what's up, but we're not talking about like the patient that just cussed us out or the team member that just quit yesterday that we thought we're going to be here forever, or you just don't hear people talk about those kind of things. And so you kind of get down and you're like, man, I don't know what's going to happen in my business. And then all of a sudden you are around these other people and they're all talking about these things transparently and the solutions to them, and then all of a sudden you're encouraged. And so I think this is great. Like I am happy to once a month give 90 minutes. And let's be honest, $299 a month, like 10 people sign up, that's 20, like 3,000 bucks. It's like Dr. Blake and I has already talked about, we'll just put that into the podcast and give away stuff or market it or whatever. So this is not a money-making play. This is to help other people, because the resources that we're dropping, people are like, this is great, this is helping me, but how do we do it in a more concise way? So how, from your experience, how do these masterminds, I have a couple ideas, so you can kick this back to me if you want, and I'm kind of putting you on the spot, but like, would you see these kind of 90-minute meetings ran so that way everybody kind of gets, is it like the hot seat style?
Yeah. So, well, number one, I think the reason this is unique and probably different than anything else that's out there is that a lot of these are either not run by a dentist, which I would encourage you not to be a part of, that's currently not practicing, or some that are. But from my knowledge, there's not any that are run with a dentist and someone who understands how to drive patient flow into the practice. And so just like I've learned a ton from you, other people will have access to that and be able to learn tips and tricks and things that will work within their practice of how to drive people to the practice. And so I think it'll provide a very, just like on the podcast right now, it provides a back and forth of expertise that doesn't really exist.
Yeah, it exists in open communication, right? There's definitely marketers and dentists and some dentists that are marketers and vice versa. But having a balanced approach to growth quickly, because I told you today, I said, you grew. I've helped a lot of dentists grow. I haven't helped anybody grow as fast as you've grown at your age. So I think that's the difference that we're going to be able to help people. Like, you don't have to, I see this all the time. Like, people start a practice, they save, they work, they're an associate forever. They save all their money. They absolutely just live way below their means, which I really admire when people do that, right? That's hard to do. And they save all their money and then they go and open up a practice and they're like, oh, I'm open one day a week. And I'm like, you're going to be in the red. You're going to lose money for the next 3 years. Like, jump in, but it's scary to jump in if you don't have patience. It was the same thing with your new building. It was like, you had to open up a new building, but it was also scary to open a new building. You know what I mean? But you had to.
100%. And I think like in that specific scenario where you just explained of like you're opening a startup and you're going to be there one day a week, like you're going to provide tremendous value of being able to share like, okay, maybe you can't spend 15 grand a month on marketing, but here's how you could spend 4 and make it effective. You know what I mean? And that just doesn't exist. And so what I found in being a part of different masterminds that have been valuable in my life is when you have members that are contributing to the conversation. So what I hope it isn't is you and me getting on and leading a lecture on here's how you do X, Y, and Z. Like what I would love is, Jenny gets on the phone call and wants to know how to solve XYZ problem. And then we can all spitball. And frankly, there's going to be a lot of value that comes from other people that are a part of that. We don't have all the answers, but I think that the more buy-in and the more that other people bring to the group, the more fulfillment and the more learning that will happen.
Awesome. Yeah, I totally agree. So let us know down in the comments below, wherever you're watching, DM me. You can also message Dr. Blake. He actually works for a living. I just argue with dentists on Facebook. So you're probably going to get a faster response from me online. But so we want to help people. So and this isn't going to be open to everybody. I'm just going to be honest with you. You're going to have to fill out some things, and we're going to have to know that you're serious and you're not a meanie head. We're not going to have any jerks in the group. I just refuse to. I've already gone down that road. I already know what that is. So if you're an honest actor and you actually want to grow, and not just grow like, oh, I want to just, do a little bit better. Like you want to have impact on your patients, on your team, and you're willing to change, then this is going to be the spot for you. And we're going to cap it and we're going to limit it. And then people are going to grow and we're going to help them. And and you say, I'm not ready for that. Keep tuning in every single week because we're going to be able to help you. And the link's going to be down below where you can sign up for this. And I was joking with Dr. Blake, like I still have to tell my team to build that page. So they're going to be finding out on this podcast about that link down below.
They're going to fire me, Gary.
It's awesome. I think this is great. Just to be honest, I've done this in the past and I've made all the mistakes. We did a free group and then we did I had marketers and I had dentists and it was very interesting. So this is going to be for dentists who want to grow, who want to change. And we're going to do it for $299 and we'll just go to the link below. And if you have questions, you go, hey, what are we going to do? Are we going to tell them you can come and go as you please?
Yeah. I mean,
no contract, right?
Yeah. What I love most is when I work with people and they're like, the day that I stop providing value for you is the day you should stop paying me. And so if at any point you feel like, man, this is a waste of my time or you're not learning or it's not valuable to you, then yeah, that's not fun for me either. I just want to help people and be a part of their stories. And just like other people have helped me and been a big part of my story. So yeah, the day that you feel like it's not valuable, no pressure.
Awesome. Well, as always, thank you, my friend. You do an amazing job of helping people and just, making sure that people are getting the value and just learning and also growing yourself. So I'm really excited and let's keep up this train moving forward, my friend.
Let's do it.